So we're excited today to bring you a panel of local businesses and a couple of resources to explore how to become an employer of choice. After the panel shares a bit with some questions from our moderator, we'll open the floor for questions from you. Following the Q&A, then we will hold 3 breakout sessions that I'll speak to after the panel finishes. So I have the honor of introducing our moderator this morning, Mr. Leslie Giscombe. Leslie is the founder and CEO of the African American Entrepreneur Association located in the UCF Volusia County Incubator and in Palm Coast. You can read his extensive bio on the Alliance 4 website. But I want to take a moment to express my gratitude for his true collaboration and his collaborative nature and for bringing his voice to the table. It is a delight to work with Leslie and to experience his passion around building others up. Here's what's written about AAEA on the Grow FL Virtual Entrepreneur Center. Our mission is to create and nurture a team of like-minded African American entrepreneurs and supporters within our communities by establishing structure, accountability, and utilization of our personal and professional experiences to help one another grow economically, socially, and professionally, while mentoring and using these life experiences to provide resources and professional education to aspiring entrepreneurs. Such a needed support in our community. Please help me welcome Leslie.
Thank you, Robin. Robin, you are about to, well, good morning, everyone, first of all. Pleasure to be here. I usually put Robin on the spot, but this time she gave me enough warning. But, you know, Robin, I just like to say this in front of everyone is that Robin, I want Volusia County to see Robin as, and some of you guys may not understand why, but she's put me on other larger stages than this before. But Robin is like Dr. Murray included with it. And what she did for Jackie Robinson in Volusia County and the support that she gave him. Robin has been one of my founding corporate members of the African American Association. First it was a club, by the way. And I remember her walking into my little hole-in-the-wall office where we started. Now we have 3 different locations. And Robin was, she was there. She saw the vision that we had initially to make an impact, specifically in the minority community when it comes to economic development and entrepreneurship. And this was I think this was a passion that I had, and I heard somebody mention this morning about this is your second act. So I would say going back to, and starting here, by the way, my alma mater, Daytona State College, I received my AAEA, and that was when I started creating my second act before getting accepted into the business school at University of Florida, and then moving on to get my MBA in international business. But giving back is the key, and she bought into that, and this is the passion that I had after preparing myself. And this is what I tell others, and even young people, that if you have a passion, I believe the 3 Ps, purpose, planning, and passion, and in that order. So I'm ecstatic on preaching that and telling everyone how important that is, especially young people too.
All right. My name is Robin King. I am the president and CEO of CareerSource Flagler, Volusia. When Kelly was saying that she'd been there for 32 years and decided she needed to find the second act, I'm thinking, okay, I just passed my 32nd year. Does that mean I should be looking for my second act? But I'm enjoying what I'm doing, so I think I'll stay for a while. Thank you for being here.
My name is Dan Snellback. I'm operations manager and site leader for Pentair here in Daytona Beach. I'm on the board of directors for the Volusia Manufacturing Association. I'm on the executive board for FAME, for the Florida Sunshine Chapter. That's the Federation for Advancing in Manufacturing Education. And I'm very pleased to be able to sit here today and offer some experiences.
My name is Ann Everly. I'm the apprenticeship training representative for the Florida Department of Education, Region 6, which is the East Coast central side of Florida, about 6 counties. I'm excited to be here today and be part of this and share with you the exciting news of apprenticeship.
My name is Carmen Ruiz, and I am the franchisee of Fast Signs of Daytona Beach. I've been in the Fast Signs world since 2001, but I've owned my franchise here in Volusia County since 2017. And I currently employ 6 employees here, looking for a 7. And we are very active in our community. We sit on the executive board at the Regional Chamber of Commerce, the Halifax Chamber of Commerce. We sit on the Fast Signs International Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion Council, as well as the Regionals Equity Inclusion Council, and we're very active in our network, both Fast Signs and local.
Good morning. My name is Serena Fisher. I work at Halifax Health. I am the Manager of Organizational Development in the Human Resources Department. I like to say that I do fun HR, not mean HR, but I do a lot of strategic training, developing of our leadership, recruitment strategies. Halifax Health encourages us to be very involved in the community, so I know many of you in the room. I am involved with our local Giscombe chapter, the Society for Human Resource Management, Rotary, Graduated Leadership Daytona. So very, very excited to be here and share some of the exciting stuff we're doing in Halifax.
Let's give them all a hand. How are you addressing challenges in hiring now compared to 2 years ago?
So we have a number of strategies in place. Like many of you in the room, we have increased wages. We do a lot of strategic market assessments, try to stay competitive, but also financially sustainable. We have almost always done sign-on bonuses for nurses, but we've now expanded that to a number of other positions within the hospital as well. We've gotten a lot better, I think, at telling our story. So our marketing department has done some fantastic social media initiatives. What is a day in the life of a nurse? How do people grow at Halifax? You can start in one position and it can become a lifetime of different careers. We focus on those internal growth opportunities when we're recruiting. Just because you come in entry level, that doesn't mean that's where you stay when you join our organization. And then we are also launching an apprenticeship program, and that allows us to hire for fit, look for that personality type that will be successful, and then train them, kind of be the person we need them to be for Halifax Health and the community we serve. So those are a few of the things we've put into place recently.
For us, from a small business level, it's really important for us over the last 2 years to really see who's the best fit for our company based on core values and core focus. So rather than just looking for people that may have a background in visual communications and signage, we're really kind of going back to those references and asking those questions. Do they fit our core values? Are they good team members? Are they goal-oriented? Do they have the spirit of excellence? Do they have a sense of urgency? And those are the things that we've identified make good team members in our business. So once we've identified that from a reference standpoint, which in the past we really hadn't done, I just always thought if they're qualified, they're going to be a great team member. Once we shifted to looking at those core values, we identified a lot of things. Sometimes they weren't good team members for other people, but they were excellent team members for us because they fit our culture. So we adjusted to make sure that our culture fits those core values in hiring and all that.
Prior to COVID, we saw wages increase. Unemployment was very low, and especially where we were at in DeLand, Daytona Beach, we had difficulty sourcing talent. Wage increases were going up, but the employees were far more content, more interested in training, more interested in developing themselves. When COVID hit, obviously it affected everybody, especially in hospitality. It affected manufacturing, warehousing. We were deemed a essential manufacturer. We were doing water filtration products, so we continued to work through that whole time period. We actually had our best sales ever for the 2021. That being said, once the COVID hit, our partners that were in the staffing agencies had tremendous difficulty finding applicable talent that would come in and wanted to work and were there for long-term employment opportunities. Since COVID the restrictions have elapsed, what we're finding now is finding people that are interested in that long-term manufacturing supply chain positions. Of course, wages have gone up, benefits have changed a little bit. We've offered a little bit more time off, paid time off. But one of the things that we really are striving to do is to build on the training. And there are some programs that we're working on, but if we found that if we are training the employees to do the tasks above and beyond what the simplistics are, we're retaining them more. So, and it's in our industry, it's very difficult because sometimes an employee will leave for 25 or 50 cents an hour more, and that's very hard to understand. But that being said, trying to get them to understand that they have a long-term opportunity, and the training is key to that.
Before we get into the comments from our resources, what you three industry indicated was very important. You hit two key points, and that's training and that's culture. So that's definitely, you guys are on target with that. I have another comment to make, but I'll wait till the resources. It's more towards the resources. You guys like to make a comment?
So, team off with what you just said about training. Apprenticeship is a perfect tool for your training resources. Apprenticeship programs help you set up training programs within your businesses to help deliver that training component to your employees, which they so desire, which will help build the culture and retain them and keep them engaged, which is really what you need, and to support them. Apprenticeship has become a very hot topic in the state of Florida in the last few years. There's been a lot of resources put towards developing and expanding apprenticeship programs, and I think that apprenticeship can really help step up with your hiring challenges. If you are interested in addressing and looking into that, I'm here to help them.
So I speak to this in twofold. One is a business and employer. That one of the things that we have changed in our recruitment for our own employees is to highlight our purpose, which kind of goes through the culture. That we just kind of, I've always assumed in the past that people know what we do, so what's just want to work for us, right? But I'm going to look here at my CFO who's in the front row saying, when we were recruiting, he celebrated his 1-year anniversary, by the way, with us yesterday. And for the first time ever in the job listing that I highlighted, do you want to bring your skill set of a CPA or finance into this world? So kind of playing on that purpose-driven workforce that's so important right now. And that's something that we're also sharing a lot with the businesses that we are working with. How are you putting your purpose out there? Do you write a job description people who actually want to do? And then assessments. We have started using a variety of assessments for our own hiring. We provide that for our business community at no charge. I think we have a listing of our Prove It assessments. Someone says they know how to do something. So ghosting has become a thing, right, in hiring? Who does that? But that's how this generation breaks up too, right? They just stop showing up. I don't know how to do that. But if you put a couple of things in there that are going to benefit both of you to see if this is a good fit, assessments is a good, if you put an assessment out there and they take it, odds are they're not going to ghost me as much. But it's also been very beneficial to really help both parties see how that fit is going to happen right up front.
What have you done to help your employees deal with stress, which we all have? Burnout, how to keep your employees engaged? Challenging. Jump in.
I'm very grateful for the Volusia County's They had done some panel discussions in the beginning of the pandemic. Kevin Captain was interviewing, is it Mark Spivey from Halifax? And the question that was asked is how do we prevent burnout? And this was early in the pandemic. And Mr. Spivey said it's too late. We're all on that spectrum somewhere. And then as the pandemic continued, that stress was rising up into the higher levels because the C-suite, if you will, had been holding those tensions together so long that they started to also experience burnout, stress at a much higher level. And so I'm just grateful for that because it made me very mindful in the beginning that we needed to do something. So it was kind of a silly thing. We had a staff meeting every Friday morning, virtually, and we rarely talked about work. We talked about favorite movies, favorite books, favorite Halloween costumes. Sometimes they get very, I'm going to say engaged, because as soon as you have your employees laughing, they're engaged. You know, that release needs to happen, it needs to be there. So, I mean, it's a very simple little thing. But finding those little areas of where you can help them just relieve that stress, but making sure that they know that you care about that, I think is probably one of the most critical things. That you might not be able to solve all the problems, but just so that they know that you are there to support them. Because it's not a personal and a professional, it is a person. And we need to support them. So, thank you.
You make a good point. Thank you, Robin, because we have to remember that 16 hours of that 24-hour day, they have another life. And sometimes that other life is affecting that 8 hour that they're at work. So, it's so important. Thank you. Jump in. Anyone?
So one of the most important things is engaging with another human being, right? Is engaging with the employee, engaging with your frontline supervisors, talking about not just what they're supposed to do that day, but talking about, you know, the rest of their team, talking about if things, how they're driving that morning, because traffic here with COVID was nice. Now it's getting back to not nice, right? And so just, you know, that can set somebody off in the morning when they're coming to work, you know. And so just understanding that and recognizing that, you know, it's like, oh wow, traffic. Yeah, I relate to that. And it's just that engagement with another person that is meaningful. And especially with small business owner or small teams, large teams, is recognizing that person and saying hello to them. How are you doing, and mean it, okay? The other part of burnout and managing that is what I talked about earlier, is training, okay? If you don't train somebody how to do something the way that you want them to do it, they're not going to do it right, okay? And if they don't do it right, then they're going to feel bad about their quality. They're going to feel bad about being put aside, having to have to be shown, having to have to be retrained. Okay, so having content is especially important, whether that's electronic, whether it's even paper documentation. How do you build something? How do you do something? How do you stick a label on a box? As simplistic as that sounds, if somebody you don't show somebody how to do it, they're going to do it how they think they should do it, right? And international shipment or something else, that's wrong. But helping somebody understand what they're supposed to do and how they're going to do it will give them more opportunities to learn more things. Some people don't want to learn more things. Other people want to advance and become an engineer, become a manager, become a business owner, you know. And so it's creating that type of opportunity, showing them how to do it, when to do it, how to do it, why to do it, and then letting them explore their knowledge and experience.
Well, I'm going to tag team off with this training components. Apprenticeship, I did some pretty good research on this, and really the lack of training leads to extreme stress for employees and burnout, because some of them are taking on tasks and continuing to work hard to pick up to do their jobs, with not as much other employees doing the same kind of job. So they're stressed out, burned out, tired, working hard, working extra hours, working on the job training, working extra hours, overtime, and training is the most important part to help offset some of that. And also bringing on those new employees who they are going to be helping train and support to help them grow into those positions to help offset knowing that they are going to get some extra help and they're going to have support. So apprenticeship, again, can offer that opportunity and help you set up that plan with your companies.
I'm going to echo what they said about onboarding. We do weekly check-ins as a group, and we do them one-on-one too. So every bi-weekly we do one-on-ones, and the number one stress is I don't know how to do something, or I really want to ask for help, or I don't want to interrupt somebody because I know that they're busy, but I'm not sure that I'm doing this right. And it kind of trickles down to them not taking the initiative to do the next thing, which you really want them to take the initiative. So when we onboard, that person who we've selected through management that's going to be, that we hope will be on our team, we have them come in for a day, and then we have staff interview them. And they spend a couple of hours with them without management, and we give them the good, the bad, and the ugly. And then when they leave, I ask everyone, thumbs up or thumbs down. If anyone gives a thumbs down, we don't hire them. If everyone gives a thumbs up, it's everybody's responsibility in the team to make sure that they know how to do their job right, or that they are available, especially in a small business setting, to do the job right. So we're all responsible to keep that team member engaged. And to empower them to take the initiative to do other things. But that weekly check-in starts with a positive thing that happened at work. It's usually on Monday morning. What happened? Something positive happened at work last week, and something positive that happened in your personal life. And then our individual check-ins with them bi-weekly with management is not just the temperature of work. What's happening at home? You know, what are the stress levels at home? How can we help them, give them resources to help them overcome those things? If you give them buy-in beyond the workplace, it's really interesting how they will have that buy-in in you, and that really helps with retention.
Excellent. So it's no surprise we are experiencing unprecedented levels of burnout in healthcare right now, but we have initiated a number of different programs. One is our Halifax Health Center for Wellbeing. It's counseling and other EAP-like services internal to Halifax. Mark Spivey, who Robin mentioned, will often do group debriefs. So if there's a particular department that is really struggling, he can go to them and just have a listening session, reconnect them to their purpose, but also work through whatever this concern is. I personally have been asked to go do team building exercises with a number of different departments. So we may build a new team mission statement for that specific department. Kind of what is it we do here? How do we contribute? They also look at different personality assessments and work on communication strategies. We make webinars and other learning sessions available for people who maybe they don't have time to go to a formal meeting, but they can look up something on our intranet in their spare time. We listen, right? Even our physician offices right now, they have concerns about angry people coming in. We all know there's a little more anger in society these days, but they're isolated. They're not part of the bigger hospital, so they have concerns about maybe their safety. We can't do anything about the angry people, but maybe we can have our security team go assess the environment, make sure we've done everything we can there. We can build de-escalation training that helps them feel like they have the tools to deal with any situations that come up. So we can't wave a magic wand, but if we listen to them and put the solutions in place that help them feel like we're invested and we care, that brings their stress levels down as well. And then our upcoming cultural recommitment program, Cornerstone is what we call it, will incorporate a theme of gratitude. Even though things are hard, there's still a lot of amazing things happening. We do incredible things at Halifax, and making sure we take time to focus on gratitude is also shown to decrease levels of burnout. So we're trying to address it in a multifaceted approach, but it's definitely something we're seeing a lot of.